morning, everybody, and welcome to the World 14.1 Tournament. We're here at the Hyatt Regency in New Brunswick, New Jersey. We're here to watch a match between Kunihiko Takahashi and Waldo. Alan was running a little bit late, kicking his match off a little bit late this morning. I'm J.R. Calver with Inside Pool, and joining me here in the booth is Alvin Nelson. Alvin, good morning.
Good morning. Welcome. Dude.
It's a great shot there. Off that back rail like that. Kind of a flyer, but he really didn't have too much as far as an easy safety, so you might as well go for it, is the way he's thinking at this point.
I'd play the 12, go up to the top rail, come down for the 1 in the lower left-hand corner. It's the only ball that I see that goes. Get into the pack.
Now the 13 might carry him off the 6. That's going to be something that he's going to look at here. But for the most part, he's probably looking at the 10 ball. See if he can scatter these. The problem is that 5 deuce is going to block a lot of the balls to go into the hole. So he needs something to happen towards the lower right-hand pocket, which didn't happen. Now the thing that he's also got as a backup is that 3 ball. The 3 ball in the side is probably something, it's 50-50. Looks like he's got a little bit of it. Not too big of a run. Pretty open table, but the balls themselves, he really does have an issue here with the stack. There's 1 or 2 balls that are going to let him do anything, and that's about it. He's trying to attack the problem right away. I don't think he's going to like this. Well, he went for it. He picked up 1 ball, and he did. That's the problem when you go after a problem ball right away. You're not going to pick up any points, but hey, that's a that's a fair trade-off. I'd rather leave the guy with a mess than to take care of all the balls on the table and then, leave him 2 or 3 balls to run to set up a break shot. Let him do some work. Pretty nice shot.
Nice shot, for sure.
Now, see how the 5-9's wired? It looks pretty close.
Right.
I wouldn't run off to do anything with that. I'm looking more at the 6 ball here and scattering some balls up towards the break area. Pretty nice shot there.
Really nice. So what? Like using the 9 ball as the break ball? No.
Well, generally how you can do this is you can come off the bottom rail and have a cue ball come up into the 5-9 and push them a hair higher. And this would be one ball that would be perfect for that. See if he tickles this ball real lightly. A little harder than what he wanted to do. Now you can see the rack area out there, and wow, he just flat out missed that ball. After, and that was some pretty good playing to get to that point. And they're real quick to change out the score, and Allen can't believe it. And, he's been running around trying to more or less play catch-up this morning. He's going to rush this game a little bit. Sometimes you never get beyond that rushed feeling once you're rushed to get to a match. You're always feeling like you just got to catch up. And you'll make some really junior mistakes like that. I mean, you can settle in and make some great shots because your adrenaline's rushed, and you can do some great things. But your mind just goes too fast. It's trying to get ahead of it. Now, Kunihiko is looking at this break shot. There's a danger of this break shot is that you can hit that rack high and stick or low and just bust a few balls out and then turn around and find out that you don't have a shot as your cue ball follows to the bottom rail and goes back up to the center of the table and none of the balls are makeable. Get a tally on this score and we'll give you a score update here, folks. See if he can hit this 13. Well, ooh, nice hit. If he doesn't get stuck, it's going to be perfect. That's it. That was a good lick there. Managed to get those balls in play, and then he kept his cue ball from taking off up table or getting stuck in the rack. Those are the two big things there. He may want to come up after shooting this 8 and rub the 10. part of the checklist that a lot of players will do when they're playing straight pool is they'll see the problem balls and they'll try and eliminate the problem balls. And the big problem ball is when you have a ball that's on a rail and another ball that's on a rail. You have to deal with that almost immediately. As if you don't, that ball will get trapped or you'll be forced to shoot a combination at some point. And that can end a run. Even the easiest combination can end a run. So a lot of players try and get away from that as quickly as they can. I believe that he's going to have to use the 6 as somewhat of a break shot. He would love to have kept it for the break shot for the whole rack, but now he has to kind of draw into the top side of the 9. A little speed. Good shot. Takes the cue back to the center of the table. And he should have a pretty much a shooting gallery. He should not have to touch these balls anymore. As soon as he can make this 3 ball, he should be able to come down and maybe move the 11 into a really good break spot. Now, it's very faint. It's there for the players more than the spectators, but they've outlined a rack. And there's a lot of rules that go into when the ball or the object ball, the cue ball, are in the rack. I believe that he's going to try and come above this stack and maybe even shoot to 12 next. And then come at the 1 and move the 11 or 3 into the break position. Okay, he did kill it. I would wince a little bit too. He's going to have to try and follow without touching the 3 ball here and get an angle on the 1 to manufacture a decent break shot here. And that's what he's looking at right now. He knows that he can't smack up into those balls. I don't believe that's what he wanted. He could be saving a 10. The bottom break shots are nice, but generally you have to have another ball down here that you can really position that cue ball effectively. Alan is saying I might be able to go get you a bridge instead of forcing Kunihiko to shoot this left-handed, which I don't blame him. He's going to try and get this as straight in as he can. I think he's on the wrong side. Well, Kunihiko has cleared off that rack, making it 19-9, which is a pretty darn good start, but I don't think that in the end it's going to get him there. Balls are pretty scattered here. I think that this minor little stack that's still around the rack is going to be somewhat of an issue. He will be able to work it a little bit. He's going to try and save that 11, I think, but I wouldn't make plans with it too early right now. Get underneath that stack and maybe shoot the one in the side, but he wants to clear these balls and come down with a really clean shot on something out of that stack. He's having a hard time getting to that stack. I feel that he's leaving a 6 down the corner as an insurance shot right now. That's pretty smart play. Things that he's looking at right now is he's not sure about the 410 and whether he needs to work the 13 into the mix right away. And I believe what his solution is going to be is to maybe possibly get out onto that 15 and push the 14, the 4 and the 10 down into a bottom break shot again, just as a backup. I know he wants the 1. That's going to be his primary. But let's see if he can get in on this 15 here. Good shot. Speed's going to be pretty crucial here. Touch. And which ball is he's going to hit. Great shot. Great shot. Well, we had a pretty rocky beginning from Kunihiko, but what we have right now is him off to the races. He ran 1 ball, missed, then he picked it 4 from the 1 rack, 14, and now it looks like he's going to be on a 32 ball run after he clears these next 3 balls. He's making pretty easy work of them too, I might add. Yeah, I agree. You're supposed to go with the 6 ball here. Spin it over. So Kunihiko has a pretty good break shot here. Looking at this stack and seeing what we're going to be looking for him to break into. He's going to hit right between the 410. Maybe pull it out of there with a little draw. He could use pure side English and hit the 4 just about square in the face. A little bit of draw and he can hit the 10 and come back to the center of the table. A little bit of follow and you can fall into one of the world's biggest traps. Yeah, that's right. He's not too happy with that either. There's nothing over there. A lot of times you have to get that ball up to the top first or hit it hard enough to get up there. But at some point, yeah, that's a big old trap. He should be looking at safeties right about now. I don't really see too many that he's going to want to try and get into. He could nick off the 11 and roll down to the bottom rail. You don't want to do that. That just gives the guy the whole upside of the table to put you somewhere in trouble. And you don't want to be in a position where you're shooting a 9-foot shot after running 32 balls, well, 33 balls. You want to leave this table with a locked position. I don't think that 8 goes, but let's see if he can. Nice shot. great shot to keep the rack alive. Well, this should be enlightening for Alan. Running late like this, sometimes, like I was saying, you try and get to a point where you're racing, you're wanting to get somewhere, and you don't know what it is even when you're there. And I think he might have rushed one or two shots here in this match already, and he gave Kunihiko an extra chance. That extra chance is going to turn into, it's already added up to about 34, 35 balls. So it's, he's got to sit in the electric chair now and now slow down. So hurry up and wait to sit down at your match. Unfortunate for Alan. Nice hit. Got a little bit of action on that. Slid that ball in, used all of the pocket. That's what he had to do. He actually wanted to get a shot on the 6 so he could move these balls a little bit. And there's probably a way to get around it. I think I have to look at the 10-ball bank before I shoot this combo. So it might be a matter of personal, opinion there, but I think the 10-ball bank is a much better shot. Reason being is you're not scattering the balls around. He could hang this 3. He could leave an open rack. Either way, of course. But I'd rather not move the rack and playing a left-handed shot too. And still have my work ahead of me. Oh, nice kick. Pretty good approach to the rack. 4 balls probably his best bet as far as a break shot here. And he can work a good portion of this rack without touching any other balls, except for this shot here where he's going to pocket the 14 and hit the top side of the 9, sliding away from the 15 and keeping the shot on the 15 in the same pocket. And he'll probably pick up the 9 later. Oh, we could do that. I think you'd have to consider shooting the 13 here. Good touch. Uh-oh. That one got away from him. And he's on the wrong side of the 13 to try and do anything funny. Yeah, I don't blame him. He's probably at some point wishing he had that stroke back. You just want to yell, don't do it. But I think he's going to give this one a little bit of a ride. Nice. Very nice kill. Kunihiko Takahashi will pick up 14 more, making this score 47-9. And I believe he's on a 46 ball run right now. Nice break shot. Hit this one with better speed, actually, and I don't know whether he has very many more chances than the one ball or the two. A 15 can go in the back, but I think he's just going to see if he can get a secondary shot here. There you go. Calling the 5 ball. Nice shot. Manufactured so many break balls that he made a cluster. Well, he may have to tickle this 12. I'm thinking he should go up straight for the 11 after making the 8 if he can see that. He may elect to go right at the 15 as well. It's hard to tell. Right now, he's been making some pretty good shots. Nice shot. For anybody that's interested in some of the schedule that's coming up or any of the results from yesterday, the articles at Inside Pool Mag have a bunch of the links. The brackets, scores are all linked in those articles. We may end up putting the links right at the top of the chat later today. Maybe after this match we'll take a second and try and find them. Maybe even during this match. I'm sure people want to know kind of where this is all starting to play out. We put in a full day of play yesterday due to the hurricane. We've pretty much been playing catch-up, and Monday's play was long, is all I'm going to say. He's got the 15 if he can't get this 14 ball against the rail here. He has to start thinking about the 12-9 immediately. He's taking care of everything along the way except for the 12-9 now. believe he's going to look at getting it somewhere off the 10 ball to pluck the 12. Nice shot. Nice shot. Nice hit. As low as this 6 ball is, he's going to kind of want this shot, the cue ball, to be a couple of inches back towards the center of the table. Doesn't want to really get even, and let's see if he stops this in time. Okay, he's got the angle that he needs. That's going to make it 61-9 in favor of Kunihiko Takahashi over Alan Waldo. For those of you just tuning in, this is the World 14.1 tournament. We're here at the Hyatt Regency in New Brunswick, New Jersey. I'm J.R. Calvert with Inside Pool. And this is the second round of play, I believe, possibly even the third. It's kind of mixed in a lot right now. Now let's see if Kunihiko can play this shot. I would consider follow on this ball. Okay, it followed and he killed it, and he ended up with a shot. I think he was trying to draw that ball, and might be because of the angle. Like we were saying, it was kind of low, and whenever you get low like that, the automatic angle doesn't want to go into the rack. It wants to glance off the rack. Going to need to hit this fairly firm. Nice. Nice touch. Way to keep a little spin on the ball to kind of keep the movement up. At this point here, if you're Alan Waldo, you're wondering whether you're going to get back to the table. I'm trying to figure out myself how to get out of this rack. This is a pretty tough one. As far as things go, everything's lined up down to the bottom rail or to the side rail. He has to break this up a little bit. So if he can get this to tickle after making the 5 or come back off the rail and into these balls, That'd be great. I don't think the 8 goes if he just lays the cue against the rail. So he's going to have to really work this cue here. Wow. What a great shot. Nice touch. Nice touch. A lot of knowledge into that shot, because at some point you have to know that the 2 is going to move over there. Did he get up there? He got for the 10. That was the big thing. Now, all the greats will tell you, hey, whatever you do, don't keep touching the stack. Don't hit the balls unless you absolutely have to. He's looking for something to kind of, be the key to this puzzle. And what I mean is he wants one ball to kind of go, and suddenly the rest of the balls all have pockets. Or there's a series of ways that he can make 2 or 3 balls and then start, this rack falls apart. He needed that kiss right there. And look at this. 14 is going to come back into the stack. It even happens to these guys, folks. I know how many times you've been at home, you break those balls out and they come back into the stack. Let's see what Kunihiko decides is the solution here. Nice solution. He got that one down, didn't he? That 15 ball is a decent breaker. It's a little far away for some guys. I think he can work this as well as he's playing right now. As good as he is playing. I don't think this is going to be an issue. Yeah, Alan's got the let me fold my hands and look relaxed look. He's not, though, folks. You know what that's like. I think we all know what that's like. And Kunihiko did not get the angle over to one way or the other for the 12 off the 10. All right, Funky. He knows he's got some work to do now. I know he can make this ball with low right come off the rail and probably come straight up towards the 12. The thing is, he doesn't want to hit low right too much on it, because now he can spin it to the wrong side of the 15 and just a little hair different hit and he's probably nowhere near being where he needs to be on the first rail. But I do believe he's going to hit this thin enough that it's going to be low right and straight up. Thing of beauty, folks. He's getting a little reaction from the crowd there, and I don't blame him. That was a beautiful recovery. And while Alan sets those up, I will add another 14 over, and we're going to have 75 to 9. A 74 ball run is what we're watching. Well, thank goodness for the 8. We all make those cardinal sins where we hit a little bit too much of that top ball and go straight up to the bottom rail. We've all been here. It's how we recover, and the 8 is going to be his recovery ball here. What he does after the 8, that's a good question. Can he get the 4? He's looking at the 3 ball. Maybe the 5-12 is wired, and he likes that and the 4 ball being there to kind of get his. He'll work the 5-12 to get the rack. He'll bust the rack up. 3, make the 4, go to the bottom rail, let the cue run in to the stack when he makes the 5-12. Excellent, though. Excellent 75 ball run. Not too shabby. I think some of the folks out in the chat think so as well. Alan's caught in a vicious cycle here. He is on a treadmill trying to break out balls, and nothing seems to be working right now. This is actually why some of the guys will always say don't hit those balls unless you absolutely have to. And he's stuck to a point where he's going to have to bank the 2. Cross side or cut it down the corner. I believe he made 5 balls there. Nice stroke. He should follow up, take care of the 2-8, probably shoot the 2 first. Makes more sense. Now from here, he probably wants to follow to get the 7, because I believe the 9's going to be his ball. Okay. He can do this just as well. Probably a little bit more option to go 13-7. I agree. I think that was better than the way I saw immediately. I believe that Alan picked up 5 balls there. I'm going to give him 5 balls on the scorekeeper here. Well, immediately the first thing I look at is the 5, whether it goes or not. I don't think it gets past a 14. So he's going to shoot right in, make the 13, and rescatter the stack. He's got the 10. Now he only has to make these balls and then 2 more to finish out, I believe. A long shot here. Put it right in the center of the hole. Didn't even use the rail a bit, which was nice. Oh, you can't believe he did not hit the 1 or the 11 there. I can't believe it. He'll be able to work it, obviously, with the 8 here. For anybody that's interested, look at this. Is that going to make it? What a great shot. For anybody that's interested in seeing what other matches we have coming up today, you can look online at InsidePoolMag.com. A bunch of the articles that we post, we'll post the TV matches coming up. We'll get those later at InsidePool.tv. But who we have coming up at 11:30 is Cohen and Lombardo. 1 o'clock match is Ortman versus Martin. Now Hopkins has scratched from the tournament. That's kind of big news this morning, and we've been looking around for a replacement. So we will either be doing Robles and Herring or Homan and Frank at the 2:30 time frame. And at 4 o'clock we're either going to do Martin and Perica or Schmidt versus Blacklaw. Then at the 5:30 time frame, that's Ortman versus Siegel. Archer versus Gauthier is going to be at 7 o'clock. And then 8:30 is the one a lot of people have been waiting for. It's Siegel versus Martin. Now the 10 o'clock time frame, we initially had Immonen versus Hopkins. Not really sure what we're going to do as far as replacing Allen as far as matches, but by all means, we'll try and get that updated as soon as possible. We took a lot of that information down, knowing that Allen came out. Now I'm trying to figure out who our next matches are going to be for these, because Allen was scheduled for 2 of those matches today. Wonder if he's going to try and break this ball for the side. I don't know whether he can kill it in the right place. Nope, he's going to go to the top of it. And he's going to be pretty darn good. Now he needs to make the 12 ball and one other ball. And he will put on a win onto his side. Round robin. I know we're going to be ending up going to 100. I believe there's 6 guys or 7 guys in each round. It's changed a lot. It's been pretty dynamic around here, as you can imagine, with the hurricane. When we got in, there was actually so many streets turned down. It could have taken you an hour to get to the Hyatt, even after being in New Brunswick. He just needs a shot on this 9, and I think this is going to be it. And there we go. Winner, Kunihiko Takahashi. 100-14 over Alan Waldo. Folks, thanks for tuning in. We're going to bring another match back your way. We have Stephen Cohen versus Hunter Lombardo coming up at the 11:30 time frame. Thanks for tuning in.